Salut, vous êtes bien sur Ludovox, c'est Mathieu, on est à la Gen Con sur le stand de Board Game Geek avec Aldi, donc Scott Alden. Hi Scott, how are you?
Doing great, thanks for having me on.
So you are one of the co-founders of BGG.com and well, it has been what, 15 years?
Yes, it'll be 15 years, or 16 years in January.
Oh.
So this is our 15th year, yes.
So I guess at the beginning, the ambition was to have a reference. Can you tell us the genesis of the website?
Sure. There was so many games coming out of Europe that we just didn't have any information on the web about any of the games. So I was just buying hundreds of games a week, hundreds of dollars of games. And I would go over to a friend's house and he'd be like, that's not that good. Where did you hear that? And he said, oh, I'm on this mailing list. It's a private mailing list. And I said, well, why is it private? And he's like, well, we want to keep it small and everything, and the people who are interested in the hobby. And I'm like, well, why isn't it online? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make a website. And that's basically what happened. So there was no information online about it, about these games. And I was like, I'm a programmer. I have database capability. Set up an online website.
And now you're #1 worldwide? That must be some achievement.
Yeah, it's been great. The past 5 years have been really huge for the hobby. Like, it's exploded. And Gen Con is a example of that. It's grown so big in the past few years. So, and a lot of it has to do with the board game industry. And also Board Game Geek has grown. We just passed 1 million registered users.
What's your opinion about the hobby in itself? We also feel that it has grown in Europe, but what about it in the US? Has it exploded?
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. There's so many games now, you cannot play them all, even if you play one game per day. There's not the time to play everything. So, in my opinion, that's an explosion of content in a hobby that's been, you would get a few hundred games a year back in early 2000, and now we're getting 2,000 games a year.
That's what I was going to say, a few thousand now. And there's practically a game for every type of player, for everyone. And now you have also reviews of, the user base, as you said, is really strong and active. And, how has the website evolved from your perspective?
When we first started the website, it was just a database of information. There was no user accounts. Nobody could sign up to create an account. It was all just cut and pasted from other places, with permission, of course. And turning it into more of a social website with forums and Geek Mail and Geek Lists and all those different features has really made everybody kind of come together on the site to share their feelings about this hobby, which is such an amazing hobby. And there's so many different people and types of games, and I'm just glad that we could be part of it, and I'm really happy that the users like Board Game Geek enough to stay with us and keep using the website.
Do you have any plans for the future?
Yeah, we're currently doing redesign. I know that's a big complaint for a lot of people, like the overwhelming amount of information. So we've been working really hard this year, and we're going to be rolling out a new design for parts of the site this year.
Okay, nice. For example, it's true that the homepage is quite crowded, let's say, jammed and packed with information. That must be really a challenge, because I guess that you want to keep the maximum amount of information packed into the website, packed into the least amount of space. Can you talk to us about it?
Sure. The web designer we hired said it's the most challenging job he's ever had, and he's been in the industry for 15 years. So, yeah, like you said, there's so much information available that we've been collecting over the past, 15 years, that we want to try to present it as cleanly as possible and as easily as possible without overwhelming someone who comes there for the first time. So if you're a long-time user, you should be able to find every little piece that you had before, but also it's a nice, concise design that is, in my opinion, snappy and responsive, and you can actually use it on a cell phone. So that's the challenge, and it's been hard. I mean, we've been working really hard the past 6 months just to redesign the game page. And then once we get that done, we're going to move on to other parts.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Scott, for your time for this interview. Do you know any French?
Do I know any French? I'm sure I do. What do I know? You put me on the spot now. I can't think of anything. Give me something. Give me something.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
It means goodbye. À bientôt sur Ludovox. Salut.